Hello. Good. Yeah, my setups here. Right. Option. Screen. Right. That's people. About this thing, and I'm not listening to the screen music. I'm listening to my Spotify Alexa. I'm listening to what? I hope I hit 2, not 3. What I hit? I hit nothing as far as. Yeah, I hit 3, like an idiot. Okay. There we go. Now I can see. Um, left working on. Got 2 working on Bunny. I gotta do the pretty stuff for the side here. I don't know if you guys can see my mouse cursor. I never thought of that until just now. You can't see it, I think. Anyways, I gotta work on making all this stuff over here pretty. So, that's what I'm gonna do. My base colors are done. She's looking cute in her 2 different outfits. I can sort of get rid of the sketches, but we'll set her to OG look for now while I do the background work.
If you have tried multiple oral antidepressants and they haven't worked, did you know that after 2, you can try another
click
path?
with my
Spravato works
hotkeys a little
differently
bit so
to
now
rapidly reduce
they don't
depression
interfere with the
symptoms.
stream.
Spravato is the
Hopefully,
only
whenever I
FDA-approved
name
nasal
my
spray taken with
layers.
or without an oral antidepressant for adults with treatment-resistant depression. While the exact way that Spravato works in depression is unknown, it acts on glutamate, a chemical messenger in the brain thought to regulate depression. Spravato can cause serious side effects, including sleepiness, fainting, dizziness, spinning sensation, anxiety, feeling disconnected, breathing problems, increased blood pressure, problems thinking clearly, or bladder problems. Your healthcare provider must monitor you for serious side effects for at least 2 hours after taking Spravato. There's risk for abuse and misuse. Don't take if you have a blood vessel disease, an abnormal connection between your veins and arteries, a history of bleeding in the brain, or may become pregnant. Spravato may harm your unborn baby. Don't drive, operate machinery, or perform activities that require full alertness until the next day after restful sleep. Antidepressants may increase suicidal thoughts and actions in people 24 and younger. Spravato is not for use in children. It doesn't prevent suicide or suicidal thoughts or actions, relieve pain, or replace hospitalization. Call your doctor right away about changes in behavior, worsening depression, or thoughts of suicide. With fewer depression symptoms, you may begin to feel like yourself again. Ask your healthcare provider or visit Spravato.com.
Hi, and welcome back again to Hulu's Tell Me Lies official podcast. I'm your host, Stassi Schroeder. Each week, I'll be breaking down the episodes, sharing behind-the-scenes stories, playing games, and sipping tea with the cast and crew of Season 3 of Tell Me Lies, now streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney+. This week, I'll talk to none other than Tell Me Lies' incredible showrunner, Megan Oppenheimer. But first, we need to talk about episode 3. So, again, if you haven't watched, stop what you're doing, go watch it right now, and then come back. The gangs only just got back to campus, but everything feels totally different already. Pippa and Diana are enjoying their new relationship, but Pippa's struggling with not wanting to hurt Wrigley, and Diana finds out that she's pregnant. Wrigley doesn't really feel bad for Steven, even though he's going through a breakup. I mean, who would feel bad for Steven? Give me a break. At the après-ski party, Bree opens up to everyone that she and Alex know each other from foster care and plays matchmaker to Alex and Lucy. Bree sends Oliver a picture of her and Amanda. Evan is dating Molly still, but he's shedding the nice guy image and taking what he wants, telling Bree he'd leave Molly for her in a heartbeat.
You know, I'll stop talking to her in a second if you told me to.
Steven passes up on the party to drink alone at Max's bar and gets a call from his mom who tells him his sister could lose her scholarship. Steven takes his angst out on Max and then Lucy, who he's still mad at for not telling him about Evan. After a tortuous fight, he gets her to admit an even worse secret on camera, that her sexual assault claim was fake. And Lucy leaves feeling absolutely helpless. After that, Steven and Evan strike a deal that Evan's father will fund the rest of Sadie's tuition so long as their beef is squashed. But Lucy leaves the fight and heads to Alex's seeking some sort of comfort, and we get a gut-wrenching scene of her confession and her rough sex with Alex intertwined and just like, whoa. Okay, so over the years, how have the cast dynamics and relationships changed? I know you really can't say too much, but I have to ask. It's also crazy that I just found out that you're married to Oliver. I don't know if I'm ever gonna recover. Like that's
so.
He's handsome.
He's handsome.
That is a handsome man.
He's a handsome man. He's
Good for you.
Thank you. Yeah, he's good looking. Very dumb. But I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm not. He's not. I'm joking. He's very smart and lovely and tall. Yeah. No, I love him. Yes, we are married. We are married, and he's not like Oliver. So yeah.
Okay. Well, let's talk a little bit about some of the other cast members. How has some of their relationships changed since the pilot?
I mean, everyone's just become very
close. During the pilot, everyone was sort of getting to know each other and figuring out who they were, you know, and now everyone knows each other very, very well.
I know that everybody knows this, but it is kind of fucking crazy that Lucy and Steven are in a serious relationship IRL.
Yes.
Like since the pilot, I feel like. Or their audition, they auditioned or something.
It was after their chemistry read. Not immediately after, but
what was their chemistry read like?
Well, they had to do a lot because their first one was on Zoom because we were seeing everyone on Zoom.
How does someone do a chemistry read on Zoom?
Well, that was the thing.
Like, that's impossible.
Yeah.
Down with Zooms.
Yeah. I mean, Zoom auditions are actually weirdly very effective, but not for chemistry. But yeah, so they met on Zoom, and then we brought him in person. We did 2 in-person chemistry reads like months apart because it was a long process casting that part. It's just such a specific. I feel like I saw every guy between the ages of 18 and 35 that lives in LA or New York. No, their chemistry read was, I mean, they just had insane chemistry. I remember this one screenshot that we took of their read, and I was like sending it to the executives. I was like, "This is the guy. Look at the way they look at each other." Yeah, no, it was great.
Can you tell me who the first person was to be cast?
Grace.
Oh,
yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we cast Grace, and then she read with most of the people that auditioned after her. We cast her several months before we cast anyone else. Then we started reading Steven and all the other characters. I think the second person cast was Kat. I think Bree was the second person we cast. Yeah, we saw a lot of people.
She's like the Katie to my Stassi.
That's funny.
Well, I just think that she looks like Katie a lot.
Do you?
Yes. Like they both have these like stunning faces that like you just like can't look away from.
Kat has an incredible a very feline face.
Yeah.
Kat is a very appropriate name. Yeah, stunning.
Just surface
amazing.
looking at them wise.
That's so funny.
Just like I'm not talking about like who they are as characters really. But
I love that. I don't see that.
That's okay.
But I believe you. I believe you that you see that.
That should be
yeah,
the
we
right
joke
color,
a lot
I
that
hope. I mean,
I feel like that character feels like the
very
more
cliche.
complicated. I actually
I
never
can't.
watched Dawson's Creek, but everyone tells me that Bree's like the Katie Holmes of
I
the
never
group.
watched
I've never
Dawson's
watched it,
Creek
though,
either,
so-
and I don't normally like to admit that out loud.
Oh yeah,
It's like when someone says they haven't seen Titanic. Like who? It's insane.
That's horrible.
But because you said it first,
Yeah.
I feel comfortable.
No, my husband can't believe he references it all the time. I'm like,
Okay.
I've never seen that.
Have
show.
you said this in public before?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm Stassi Schroeder, and I've never seen Dawson's Creek. That feels good. Okay.
Good.
I got that off my chest.
I'm proud of you.
Oh, you're proud of me? Well,
Yeah.
speaking of proud,
Oh no.
thanks for my next question.
Okay.
What has been your proudest
Yeah,
moment
because I have
since
a bunch
starting
of
the show?
thumbnails that I
I
wanna
know
get
that
to,
has to be
so-
really tough.
I really don't know. I think that the reaction to season 2 was very special because I felt like the show just really found itself in season 2. I will say that there was a moment at the premiere of season 2 when we revealed the Diana and Pippa kiss, when the crowd just absolutely shrieked with surprise, which was just, it was extremely satisfying. I heard that the Kardashians and Jenners love the show, and if that's true, that makes me really happy and very proud. I don't know if that's true, but I've heard it from multiple people, so I think it's true. Yeah.
No, I'm sure it is. But the way that, like, yeah, if I heard that the Kardashians were big fans of mine too, I'd be like,
It's
I made it just throw me out.
pretty fucking cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
That made me happy. I think they mentioned a group chat that they have. I know. This
tell-
is all like I'm
that's-
hearing it like through a bit of telephone, but still.
I believe
think it's
it.
true. I think it's true.
I believe it. Okay, so everything is about sex except sex. Sex is about power.
Yes.
Okay, so how does that quote relate to this show?
I love that quote. I don't know if I really agree with it. But no one knows who actually said it. People say that Oscar Wilde said it, but he actually didn't. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I love that quote, but I don't really agree. I do think everything is kind of about sex, but I'm like kind of a pervert, so maybe that's why I think that. But I do think that most our drive is to like, you know, be desirable so that we can have sex, so that we can make more people. I think it's just biological. But I don't think that sex is always about power. I think there are always power dynamics in sex.
Yeah.
But I don't know that that's always what it's about. But I will say, certainly in this episode, in episode 3, the power dynamics within the sex scenes with Lucy and Alex are pretty intense. Yeah, and that's definitely about power, but also the power in like giving up power and the safety in that. In, you know, Lucy going down this sort of, you know, sexual urge that she has to be submissive and to be kind of degraded, but knowing that she's doing it within a safe space. You know what I mean?
You seem like a nice person, but I feel like you're someone who needs a lot of reassurance right now, and I'm not that guy.
You're like the least reassuring person ever. You've actually been kind of mean to me most of the night.
Maybe you're looking for that.
Will you tell me about your decision to like intertwine?
I honestly think
the
that
scene
my
at
left
the end
headphone
with
might be a little
Alex
broken. I
and
don't know
Lucy
why.
having sex
tape
with
and
the
the-
tape.
Because the sound
So it's
ain't as
really
clear.
funny because I had
So I hope that
come up
doesn't
with the
translate to
tape
my mic as
storyline
well.
before we
If it
started
does, I
the room, and then
apologize
but I
now.
didn't know what episode it was going to be, you know. And then we got to that episode, and we knew the sex scene was happening. We knew the tape was happening, and then it was one of our writers, Mona, was like, "I have a crazy idea." I remember the look on her face when she said it. She was like, "I have a crazy idea, and I think you might hate it." And she was like, "What if we intercut those scenes?" And I was like, "That's fucking amazing." I mean, I tell her, I'm like, "That's like my favorite pitch that anyone had this whole season. It's so good." And yeah, I think it worked really well just because it's this moment of this shame spiral for Lucy and this sort of, you know, punishment that she is inflicting on herself because she thinks she deserves it. And yeah, but it was the first time I never think anything is too much. Like people are always like, Megan, that's too much. That's too dark. I never do. The first time I saw a cut of that scene, I was like, oh, like we might have gone too far, and we had to pull it back a little bit. It was dark. It was darker before, but I think it's wonderful. I love that whole scene. I thought our director Ed did a great job.
I want to get into that part actually with Lucy, because obviously we see the complexity of her sexual assault claim, because, you know, it starts out with her thinking that she's doing something good. And at first it's just like a little lie that then snowballs and grows.
I lied about being sexually assaulted last semester. Lydia's brother. I told people he assaulted me because he assaulted somebody else and she didn't want to come forward, so I said he did it to me.
What do you want people to take away from that story? That was one of the, to me, one of, like, I thought about that storyline more than all the others.
Yeah.
Because I was like, but I think Lucy's right. I think I would have done what she did.
Yeah.
Like, I would have wanted to speak up for my friend and knowing that she couldn't, but then she became this bad guy for it, and Pippa was so mad at her, which rightfully so for Pippa to be mad, but also, can you be that mad? Like, she was doing it to help you. Like, I've struggled with how I feel about this storyline.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of people did. When I pitched it, I had a night where I was like wired and I couldn't sleep. And at 4 a.m., I had this idea for the storyline. I was like writing it down on my phone. I came into the writer's room the next day and I was like a wreck. I was like, guys, I have an idea. And I pitched it. And some of the people in the room were really offended by it. And they were like, we absolutely cannot do this.
Soup sitting here
It's
just
undermining
getting
of
cold.
women. And that kind of made me want to do it more.
Czar
But yeah, a
is
lot of people were
the
offended.
color
But I
palette.
agree. I don't think Lucy, I think she did a dumb thing, but I don't think she,
I got a lot of rice
it's
in
like,
here. I was like, why is it
is
thick?
something good because of how it turned. if the intention is good, is it good, or is it only okay if like the consequences end up being, you know what I mean? Like if it doesn't work out well, is it then bad? You know, like how much does intent matter, basically, is the question.
That's important. How much does intent matter? And to me, it matters a lot.
For me, it matters a lot.
Yeah.
And I think that her intention is just desperate and good. And I think they're in this situation where there's a system that does not help these girls, and she doesn't have anything else to rely on, and she makes, you know, a very snap decision. But I don't know what, I mean, in terms of what I want people to take away from it, I think I just like the idea that people are talking about it, you know? But I do think that the way that Lucy gets, you know, I like, even in this episode, the way that Lucy gets punished for this thing, it's so much worse than any punishment we've seen Chris get at this point. And I do think that, you know, girls on campus, whenever they talk, especially back then, when they talk about assault, you know, I feel like they get treated so much worse than the guys who are accused.
It is important to remember that, like, this was 2008.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's
while today
totally different.
We might know better. We know, I mean, we're older now, but like, you know, hopefully 20-somethings everywhere know better to handle it.
So I was
that
gonna
way.
write
Back then,
everything in, but
that would have been me.
I don't know if it'd be.
Yeah.
I would have done that.
Yeah?
Yes.
What Lucy did?
Yes.
I
don't
think
know
that
if it'll fit.
means
I
you're a
don't
good
feel like trying to
I mean,
draw
I think Lucy's,
font.
I think she's a good friend.
So,
I think she's
for
sort of,
now,
you know, making
it's kind of
herself the
placeholder
sacrificial
because
lamb in that
she is
moment, but it's
looking
misguided
for a
because it
couple.
then
I'm gonna
creates a
pick
whole
one,
clusterfuck of other
and I think
issues. But yeah, it feels so recent, but the sexual dynamics with young people were so different. It's been, even I'm in my 30s, the cast are all, you know, when we started the show, a lot of them were in their early 20s, and it was really interesting filming one scene where Diana is like, stop, but she's not like, stop, and like, stop. She's just like, wait, stop. And Steven isn't supposed to immediately stop. He's like, wait, what? And Jackson was like, if someone is saying stop at all, even in the calmest way, I'm like on the other side of the room.
Yeah.
And I was like, I understand that, but not in 2008. Like that wasn't, there would have been a pause. There would, you know, and I mean, how many times, at least for me, you know, so many times in my early 20s, joking with girlfriends or having my girlfriends joke with me, like, oh, he was kind of rapey. And it's like, that's bad.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Wait, I used to use that word all the time.
All the time. All the time. And, you know, you write off these instances, and it's not until years later we're like, oh, that actually was very deeply traumatic, and that caused a lot of behavior in me that was really bad. Yeah, no, it's a different time, but I also am like, I'm sure, I mean, obviously terrible behavior is still happening behind closed doors. I think at least publicly people aren't allowed to admit it as much. Yeah. If that makes sense.
How do you guys prepare for a scene like that? Whether it's physically or just like emotionally, people are being vulnerable, but like that physical and emotional, that darkness, like how do you guys get together and have a chat and hold hands?
We just talk through the scene. You know, I mean, I pitched each actor their kind of season before they'd gotten all the scripts, and I told them, I sat down with them and with our producing director, Tyne, and just told them this is like the big arc. But with that scene specifically, we were auditioning Alex's, and then we flew Costa in to read with Grace, and he was doing a scene from 4 where they're referencing 3, but he had not read, neither of them had read 3 because they didn't have the scripts yet. And I remember it was actually very funny because they're like, can you just like explain to us what's happened? So I'm like in the room with the casting director and Costa, who I've just met, and Grace, and I'm just explaining it all out loud. And then as I'm saying it, I'm like bright red. I'm like, this is so much more embarrassing, me saying it out loud than like writing it on a piece of paper. And it was funny. Their faces were both like, oh, okay. No, but you just, people know what the show is. And I think the cast I have a very good relationship with all the cast. They know that they can call me about anything. I also know, you know, more or less like who's going to be more comfortable with certain things,
I'm saving it
who's
for the
not,
comic, but
because
it's
we
gonna
just
look weird anyway, so
know
may
each
as well
other
test it out.
very well at this point. But it's a lot of conversations, and we have an intimacy coordinator who, you know, goes through the scene with them and says everything they don't want to do, that they want to do, and that list is given to me from the intimacy coordinator so that they never feel like they have to look at me and say no to anything.
Yeah.
Because that's going to feel like pressure. And I
sure.
think sometimes they might want to be like, yeah, I'm cool with that if they're talking to me, and they're not, and I don't want them to feel that way. So,
Let's
just
not
a
do
lot
that.
a lot of talking about it, and a lot of we plan the physical beats like to a like it's everything. Every step is planned out. We do it like a stunt. So there's no surprises. There are no hands going anywhere that someone's not expecting. There's nothing that's a surprise on the day.
On days like that, which like I imagine are hard, especially just like that scene and the way, you know, what do you do when you get in your car and go home? Like, how do you decompress? How do you like, ugh.
Yeah. Honestly, a lot of times I'm editing while we're filming, so I have to leave set and go like work with my editors, which is a lot.
We'll use that one for
I do.
now.
This is
It
actually very
works
nerdy. I do a
where
lot
it
of
won't
puzzles.
weird to me.
I love.
Oh.
No, I do. I love. It takes me out of my.
Do you
head.
do it like without music or show or
No, I
podcast?
listen to a podcast or a book on
Yeah.
my like headphones.
At least
and I
there's
just sit
that.
there.
Yeah.
It's very nerdy of me, but I've gotten other people into it.
Can I ask you what types of puzzles you
It's
like?
very specific.
Yeah, tell me. I had a feeling.
It's like super Americana, like 1950s, like Thanksgiving tables. Like,
God, somehow I'll still
I'm gonna send you one.
these
I'm
little
gonna
drawings
find you
do
a
at the bottom, and I'll
puzzle.
get to that.
I'm gonna send you one.
Same
I
thing
love
with
puzzles.
It has to
Disappear.
be 1,000.
It has to be
It's not
1,000
quite a
puzzles.
drawing though, so it
1,500
should
is too big.
Oh,
I realized
so there's
that
a
the
limit.
hard way.
Okay.
I realized that the hard way.
Okay, we have to talk about the music. First of all, did I tell you? I don't know if I told you that I am the exact age, like I went to college at the exact years that
Okay.
these kids did.
Okay.
So when I listen to the music, like when I hear Postal Service
Yeah.
on this, I'm like, oh my God, this really is me.
Yeah.
Who chooses the music? Like,
I
I
get to
love
choose
that it
the
does
music
that.
for the most part. It's it's my
And
favorite.
I think the little points are going to be
Not my favorite
stars.
part, but it is
That's what I'm
very
thinking.
fun. Because I was also in college at this time, and so I just get to basically relive all the songs that I was crying to during high school and college. So I make a playlist before every season while I'm prepping for the room, and then I send that playlist to the writers, the directors, the editors, and sometimes I'll write specifically, this song needs to be in this scene. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know what song is here, but just pick something from the playlist. Sometimes people will throw something in that's not on the playlist. Like in the next episode, there's a great song that our first AD, Emily, actually picked. And we have an amazing music supervisor, Maggie, who helps clear all of it. And if there's a song that I want but I can't clear or we can't afford, she'll give me comps and stuff.
I was just about to ask that. Pricey.
Everyone laughs at me on set because I'm insane about the music budget. I'll be like, you can't build that wall because I want to save 30 grand so I can have this song. And whenever our line producer Matthew sees me coming, he's like, what do you want? Like, how much money do you want from music? It's always, I'm like haggling with all the different departments because the music is like, I think it's a character in the show.
It is. And it
And
transports you.
Yeah, it changes. It's wild how one song can make a scene feel completely different.
Yeah, way more than a stupid old wall would.
Yeah, we don't need
We
walls.
don't
We don't
need
need any of that. We
walls.
don't need a set.
Just
We
give
don't need. Yeah, no. I love the music. And then our composer Jay is he creates all the score.
Do you think it's harder to direct like emotional intimacy or physical intimacy? Like what types of scenes do you feel like are harder?
I think it depends on the scene and on the actor, because everyone has different things that they sort of thrive in. Obviously, the sex scenes are, a day on set when it's a sex scene, there's just like a different feeling in the air.
Is it like darker feeling, or is it just like not as fun?
It's not a darker feeling. It's just a much more careful feeling. You know what I mean? First of all, it's like a closed set, so there aren't as many people there.
Yeah.
It's just everyone's being careful because they know that people are stressed. They know that they're nervous. I mean, no matter how many times you've done these, it's weird to go on set and take your clothes off at work,
For
you know,
sure.
and it's very vulnerable. But I will say sometimes the sex scenes, you know, the sex scenes that are just like, this is just romantic or this is just, those are not that hard at this point. I think whenever there's any sort of violent or rough aspect to it, those are the ones that I always am there for. Like even if I'm in LA editing, I'll fly in for those scenes because I just feel like I need to be there if anyone's like, I just feel responsible.
Yeah.
And so those ones are usually, a little hard.
Okay.
But the emotional scenes are also fucking hard.
All right. Well, I'm going to end this and wrap this with one more question. Okay. I feel like I could guess what you would say. But would you rather confess your darkest secret on camera or tell your best friend you slept with her boyfriend?
Oh my God.
You came up with it. This is on you. You did this to yourself.
I would rather. Yeah, I did. You're right. I would rather confess my worst secret on camera.
Same. Oh,
no. I wouldn't never fuck my friend's boyfriend though.
Well, then you wouldn't have anything to confess on camera. If you were in Lucy's position, would you rather go and tell Bree or film that video?
I think she should have just told Bree. I think Lucy needs to talk to an adult.
Yeah,
I think
that's for
she
damn
just
sure.
needs an adult.
Where's her mom?
She's not speaking to her. They have a bad relationship, you know?
It's not bad enough.
It's not that bad. No, I know. No, I think that's Lucy needs antidepressants and an adult who can give her some guidance.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thanks
much.
for being so open.
Thank you. This was so much fun.
That's it for this episode. Thank you so much to Megan for helping us process this week's Tell Me Lies drama. And thank you for coming along for the ride. Stay tuned for next week's episode of the Tell Me Lies official podcast. And don't forget to share, follow, and subscribe wherever you like to listen. Watch and listen to Tell Me Lies official podcast, available on Hulu and wherever you get your podcasts. And don't miss Tell Me Lies, now streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney+.
I asked him to take away the mini bunnies at the bottom and do the eyes down here, so let's do that. Okay.
Pull-ups help build confidence. Take it from the #1
And 2.
potty training pros. I'm a big kid now.
Deep. I don't know why Anthony has keeps saying the camera's on. I know I haven't touched anything to turn my camera. Yes, I know. Yeah. Will they be here? Yeah. quiet is because I'm focused. I'm actually looking at well. There's nothing on top of my head. My own tablet for 2 seconds. Yeah, background color for her is going to be a pain in my hand. But trying to pick something that contrasts, complements one of her colors, but boy. Really think I have to stick with colors she normally, well, she already has in there. Because this is, yeah, something for it. I'm trying, but oh boy. We're probably just gonna pick colors in her color palette. Yeah, this is ugly. Anyway, I tried, but boy, it's hard to look at. It's so hard to look at. Let's just try to do something here. Let's stick with the war tones. Like how that looks. I might go dark. Mm, my God. It's hard to not go straight up red like I kind of want to. Let's try a dark red. Now that's not as harsh on my eyes. That's getting there though. It's tense. I gotta be able to fade this out in a way that looks right. It's normally aren't that hard for me, which is hilarious because normally I used to hate sounds. Digitally, I don't mind them, but having to do them now, it depends. Since this is supposed to be a fairly simple background, not doing any complicated effects. I might add stars to the background. So I want the background to look nice. I'm gonna be doing the mixed match of colors, but I couldn't do complementary colors. Now I might still add them somewhere in there, like in the stars, but otherwise, no. It's so hard to look at. Should also do more character sheets because it's been a, or at least reference sheets. Start doing reference. It's been a while. Go bright red, brightish red. Mm, where did that blend into her ears? I got so confused. Here, it kind of works. Let's leave you alone because I don't want her to blend into the background. Like this background way more. Hmm. Instruction. Looks like blood, but well, anyway. So I'm actually gonna do that. These won't matter too much because I'll fade them out a little bit, prevalent somehow, something. What the? I have to send the apple juice because she didn't. Well, I think she did. Yeah. No, they're just giving water teas are also diuretic. But, yeah, just not liking it. I think that would do something like yeah. Okay. Um, brightest. Yes and no. I do eventually want to get into it. It's just time consuming, and I barely have time to draw nonsense. So eventually I will be back in the animation. Like my other videos, I have an animated outro with my BK. So yeah, I animate a little. Well, technically, I'm not gonna. That's all I do. You can teach myself stuff. Kind of like well, friendships. course, I'm gonna redo 3 of the 4 thumbnails I did for her. Well, two, no, 3 of the 4 thumbnails I did for her before. Let me at least get them scanned. Where did I put it? I thought I looked over here somewhere. Like, bad at remembering that. Where did I put it? Let me look through. I could have sworn I kept it by my on the desk, but I don't know where on my desk I kept it. So now I'm just sitting here kind of like, anyway. No idea where it is. I assume it's somewhere on my desk. Find it eventually, I guess. I kind of need like now. Unless it's in here, I'm an idiot. Anyway, I have no idea where it is. And I think well, her general up there doing the name. Weird. You would think I'd keep something like that near the desk. Anyway, hmm, trying to get the sketch up at least. So I never had those kind of things. what I'm gonna do. That's I need to turn Bluetooth back on, and I need to connect to my laptop. Well, mute. That would be why I can't connect with my phone because that's the only. Alright, there's that. What do you mean can't? Oh, okay. So the annoying thing about Facebook is they do a messenger for the desktop. So all of my sketches on paper because that's just easier for me. Should be using my pencils. Um, weather right now has been dry as it's been having bloody nose of late. Good to me. Save. That's so so lifted. Okay. So I'm going to save these two in my gift card folder, and it's going to be gift card. Games, these instance. Yeah. Okay. So I'm not gonna work on these tonight because I need to go to bed. But they're already a meeting for later. So I shall do that later. Which you're not be able to shut up. Okay, so I'm very happy with how she turned out thus far. I'm going to send them my sister's way. She already said that she liked it and everything. I'm gonna send her the official file so she has them. I might do a small change, like to her eyes or something, for my sister since she was hoping to see the star look in her actual eyes, which I might still do anyway, just as an alternate thing. Is it a little bit more work? Yeah. But to see my sister smile would be nice. So that's mm, I'm noticing a few things. I'm probably gonna clean up real quick. But other than that, she is done. She is perfect, and I am very happy with how she turned out. So I'm gonna call it a stream for tonight, and I will uh hopefully see you guys Thursday. So until next time, ciao for meow.